Hello paratroopers, 173rd Airborne Brigade. I'm Staff Sergeant Poos, and today I'm going to show you how to adjust the T-11 parachute. Let's start off by adjusting the size of the harness. So you have three sizes. You have size small, medium, and large. So the way to do that is you're going to move the main lift web tuck tab assembly either higher or lower on the main lift web right over here. So I'm just going to show that to you right now. We're just going to unfasten the snap fastener right over here. We're going to untuck the tuck tab from the tuck pocket right over here. Now I'm just going to expose the rear of the main lift web. Okay, so you have two tuck pockets and one reinforced stitch webbing. Okay, those are going to be your different sizes. So I'm just going to go into that right now. So behind your D-ring right over here, you have your tuck pocket for size small. Behind your equipment ring right over here, you have your tuck pocket for size medium. Now, there is no tuck pocket for size large. Size large is going to be this reinforced stitch webbing flush against the main lift web adjuster right over here. So we're going to go ahead and demonstrate each sizing options. So for size small, you're going to take the tuck tab and place it in the size small tuck pocket located behind the D-ring. So just like this. Here's for a side view, insert, and then you're just going to bring around and fasten that snap fastener. So this is for a size small. Okay, now I'm going to place it into size medium. So unfasten that snap fastener, untuck the tuck tab, and now I'm going to bring this down. So here we go. I'm going to size it right over here, just like this. And now I'm going to bring that tuck tab over here, place it in the medium size tuck pocket located behind the equipment ring. So just like this. Close those snap fasteners. And I'm going to pull the excess slack out. So there it is. So now this is size medium. Now for size large. I'm going to extend it all the way. So a quick technique is feeding it from here to then place your finger inside and better pull. Okay, there it is. Now for the size large, there is no tuck pocket. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold the tuck tab on itself, place it flush against the main lift web over here, and then close that snap fastener just like that. And that would be size large configuration. So mainly you'd be using size medium and size large if ever you're jumping with kit.
You can find this in the case op as shown right over here. The takeaway is that the main lift web will be set to size small regardless of how tall the jumper is. The main lift web does not adjust for the jumper's height, but for the thickness of the combat gear worn around the upper body. It is that thickness that will determine whether the jumper should wear a size medium or size large. You'll almost only adjust the main lift web to size medium or large if you're wearing bulky equipment such as a large chest rig or body armor. It may sound counterintuitive, but the actual height adjustment takes place in the leg straps. This is the key point you need to understand. Height is not adjusted at the main lift web, height is adjusted at the leg straps.
Of course, it goes without saying that if you make a sizing adjustment on one main lift web, you must make the same sizing adjustment on the other main lift web.
Now I'm going to show you what the different sizes look like rigged up.
I'm wearing a main lift web size small and a sizing channel 3. I'm wearing a main lift web size medium and a sizing channel 3. I'm wearing a main lift web size large and a sizing channel 3.
I want to draw your attention to the placement of the canopy release assemblies. On the left, with the main lift web size small, the canopy release assemblies sit correctly in the hollow of the jumper's shoulders around name tape level. In the middle, with the main lift web size medium, the canopy release assemblies are riding too high on the shoulders, which is incorrect. On the right, with the main lift web size large, the canopy release assemblies are on top of the jumper's shoulders, which is also incorrect. You can find this in the case op and in the training circular on static line parachuting techniques and training. Now I want to draw your attention to the pack tray. Notice how increasing the size of the main lift web lowers the pack tray on the jumper's back.
Now I'm going to show you how to raise or lower the pack tray on your back. For that, you can use one of the 5 sizing channels. So here they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what you're going to do is move the diagonal backstrap retainer through the sizing channel of your choice. So for that, you're going to have to undo the directional snap fastener. To do that, you're going to insert your finger inside the diagonal backstrap retainer just like this and pull in this direction. That unfastens the directional snap fastener. Now you're going to pull on the diagonal backstrap retainer out of the diagonal backstrap keeper. Now, here are the sizing channels: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 being placing the pack tray highest on your back, and 5 placing the pack tray lowest on your back. So now I'm in a 2, I'm going to go ahead and place it in a 3. So all I'm going to do is pull out the diagonal backstrap retainer and place it in the 3, just like this. Okay, just like that. I'm going to make sure that I have the sizing channel all the way flush to the stitching right over here. Now I'm going to place the diagonal backstrap retainer back through the diagonal backstrap keeper, and now I'm going to close and fasten over here the directional snap fastener. To do that, you have to insert it at an angle. First this way, then that way. So there it is. It's coming in like this and like that. Okay, so it's directional for a reason, because I cannot unfasten it in this direction.
Now I'm going to show you what sizing channels 1, 3, and 5 look like rigged up.
I'm wearing a main lift web size small and it's sizing channel 1. I'm wearing a main lift web size small and it's sizing channel 3. I'm wearing a main lift web size small and it's sizing channel 5.
Using what you learned earlier, you should be able to identify that one of these paratroopers has the improper placement of the canopy release assemblies. Can you spot him? If you identified the paratrooper on the left, you are correct. The canopy release assemblies are riding too high on top of the jumper's shoulders. Regarding the remaining paratroopers, we still can't determine proper fit. To make a final assessment, we need to see the placement of the pack trays. Look closely. Notice the different positions of the pack trays. Remember that sizing channels raise or lower the pack tray on your back. For proper fit, you want the top of the pack tray to align with the shoulders. On the left, the pack tray is above the shoulders of the jumper, which is incorrect. In the center, the pack tray is in alignment with the jumper's shoulders, which is correct. On the right, the pack tray sits too low below the jumper's shoulders, which is incorrect. You can find this in the case op and in the training circular on static line parachuting techniques and training. Let's dive a bit deeper into how the sizing channels work. I mentioned earlier that they raise or lower the pack tray. That happens because the sizing channels determine where the diagonal back straps intersect. When that intersection moves up or down, it physically raises or lowers the pack tray. You might ask why the canopy release assembly shifted onto the shoulders of the paratrooper on the left when configured into sizing channel 1. When set to sizing channel 1, the diagonal back straps intersect too high on the jumper's back, creating a scissoring effect that squeezes into the neck. Since the neck can't move, the main lift web is forced upward, displacing the canopy release assemblies from front to rear. For that reason, sizing channel 1 is almost never a viable configuration for achieving proper fit.
Let me show you how to place the ATAP into jump configuration. So there are 2 steps for this. The first is you're going to open up the split rig just like this. The second is you're going to activate both quick release buckles, 1 and 2. Now you're going to remove the ATAP and you're going to grab it by the carrying handle just like this. You're going to place the top straps through the saddle of the T-11 parachute. I'm going to show you that next. This is the opening of the saddle through which the top straps of the ATAP will come through bottom to top. So I'm just going to raise the saddle, grab the ATAP by its carrying handle, and feed it through, bottom to top, just like that. Make sure that there are no twists in the side panels of the ATAP, just like that. And now I'm going to match up the top straps with the diagonal backstrap pads right over here. So just make sure it's comfortable for the jumper. You're going to grab it like this, and you're going to grab it like this, like just as such. This is how you're going to don the T-11 parachute with the ATAP in jump configuration onto the paratrooper's back.
Now I'm going to show you what the main lift web size small, medium, and large look like while wearing the ATAP.
I'm wearing an ATAP in jump configuration, a main lift web size small, and a sizing channel 3. I'm wearing an ATAP, a main lift web size medium, and a sizing channel 3. I'm wearing an ATAP, a main lift web size large, and a sizing channel 3.
Let's go through our checks for proper fit. First, the canopy release assemblies, then the pack tray. Surely you already noticed the improper placement of the canopy release assemblies of the paratrooper in the middle and the right. Remember that the main lift web adjusts for thickness of combat equipment, specifically from front to rear, from the front of the chest to the back. It does not adjust for width from side to side. In this case, the ATAP in its current setup does not add significant front to rear thickness. Therefore, there is no need to use a size medium or large main lift web. Both of these paratroopers should in fact be wearing a size small main lift web to achieve proper placement of the canopy release assemblies. Now for the side view. The paratrooper on the left is wearing an ATAP and jump configuration positioned below the waist. Because of that, it does not interfere with the fit of the T-11 parachute. His adjustments are the same as for jumping Hollywood. Now, look at the middle and right paratroopers. Notice that they're using waistband extension straps. This shows that the ATAP in its current setup is more wide from side to side than thick from front to back. Therefore, only a waistband extension strap is necessary to accommodate for the width of the ATAP. An easy way to remember what to adjust is if your combat equipment sticks out in front of you, adjust the main lift web. If it wraps around your sides, adjust the waistband using the waistband extension strap. Now for the rear view. For the center and right paratroopers, you already know that the pack trays are too low due to the improper placement of the canopy release assemblies. Only the paratrooper on the left has the proper fit of the T-11 parachute. This shows the clear advantage of the ATAP in jump configuration. It streamlines the rigging process, which saves time. There's no need to readjust the harness to accommodate for combat gear. The paratrooper maintains the same adjustments used for a Hollywood jump. This ensures proper fit and improves comfort. Because the ATAP is exposed, it gives the paratrooper access to his equipment while rigged up. Most importantly, it avoids placing the chest rake inside the Mossy, giving direct access to the combat equipment once on the ground. All the paratrooper has to do is reattach the quick release buckles and he's good to go. So there it is. Now you know how to properly adjust the T-11 parachute and use the ATAP in jump configuration. If you're ever unsure about sizing, just remember this. You'll almost always set the main lift up to size small and most likely use sizing channel 3 as shown over here in the case op. If ever you make adjustments, make sure to inform a jump master to inspect your work. This now concludes this block of instruction. Have a good jump.